Hello everyone, welcome back to CSS Learning, and my name is Taser. So like you see on my screen, last week we have learned the typography. So we have a cursive, monospace, serif, sans serif, and all this so the big category, font size using the EM RAM, and we talk about it like a text property, font properties, and also like using the web base, and even we use the add font face. So how to set up our like a custom font, and then that's what we have learned last week, guys. If you missed it, please go back to YouTube, watch it again, and also make sure to subscribe to the channel, like it, share it, and turn on notifications so that we have a new tutorial, you will get notified. Okay, so this week I have this lesson content that I prepared. So that will be CSS position and layout. The part 6, so we have this like a static, like as a default position, and also fixed, sticky, relative, and absolute position. So we're going to talk about it. And when we do the position, we have this like a value that we can play around with the left, right, moving, so that will be top, bottom, left, and right. It's not the same with the margin, so because I'm going to show you as well. And also like a Z index, so if we are overlapping, so we have a complex layout using the position, so we need to use a Z index so that we can stack it on top of each other. And also for the slideshow template, I want to show you using the like a relative and absolute positioning. And so that will be good. And also the width and height value. So when we use a width, so it will change our position layout appearing, and all these using the percentage pixel, all the different use cases. And also the text alignment, so that the transform translate value, so that we can have a better positioning and layout. I think I will show you a little bit Figma as well, so at the end, so that how to use as Figma too. So we're not generating any like a CSS code, but so I want to show you something from Figma as well. So Figma is like a UI UX too. So it will be better. Okay, so that will be this week. A tutorial content, guys. So back to my Visual Studio Code. So to get started, so what we're gonna do is like you see on my screen, I think what if we just make it a little bit better text, the styling, so it's like words and characters are really spreading, because teaching purpose we use a letter spacing and the word spacing. So I'm gonna put it back. So to do that, letter spacing, so put it back to normal, and also the word spacing, so put it back to the normal. So if I save it now, you're gonna get it back, this thing. And also the part 1 tutorial is a little bit big, so it should be like a same, smaller than the header, so what if we just add our, because part 1 is a H2 element. If you go back to my HTML, this is a part 1 using the H2 element. So I can edit one H2 element here as a group. So group selector, and then when I save it, so it will becomes smaller, because I applying all the properties, so that will be just a little bit fixed. And so to get started, so okay, so back to the position. So in CSS, when we do the position, any selector, any element, guys, so to get started, what if we just use a H1 comma and then P? So to do that, so I can just start typing like a position. So that will be, so we have this drop down list, we can have absolute, fixed, relative, static, and the sticky. So I will start with the static. Also, static is something that CSS has a default value. It will be if I save it, so static doesn't make any changes. If you see on my screen, so scroll it down, there's no changes, because a static is a default. And also we call it like a normal flow. So if you add it like H1 will be at the top, like a P will be it will follow your HTML element. So it's a static, it's a normal flow, does not move. So that's how we're gonna start it. But even if you remove it, it's the same. That's why even we don't have to talk about it. But like I said, for teaching purpose, so to get started, it will be static. And also in static, if you add just now we have a value, so top value, so that will be, let's say 20 pixel, and also the left value. So sorry, no, it's not left, letter spacing, that will be left value, so that will be 50 pixel. If you edit, so it doesn't make any effects. I mean, like, so the values are ignored. So that's why static is a default, and also like ignore the I mean, like, so the top and left. Okay, so the next position is I mean, so that will be fixed. So I mean, so if I type it fi fix, so if I save a fixed position, so to the H1 and P, now you can see that things are started changing. I mean, like, so, and also fix is something that it will fix it. So stay there. I mean, like, if I scroll it down my website, so now it fixed to the screen, and then I can scroll it down my all the website, like browsing to the bottom, you know. So that's why I mean, like, it will be very like I mean, like, the use cases will be like using at the menu. I mean, like, instead of the H1 and P, you know, because I want to show you an example. And also when we use a fix, we can start using the left value, top value. I mean, so let's say if I scroll it up, you can see that it's touching almost to the top. So if you edit more top value to be 100 pixel, if I save it, now it will push it down. So the top value is started like affecting to the fixed value, and also left value is started affecting. So, and also like I mean, so what if we just take a look at it like AWS? So that will be better. I mean, so if you visit to aws.com and also the Amazon Bedrock, so you see that the top menu stay at the top, and then like if we scroll it down, it fixed at the top. So that's using the I mean, like, so the position fix. So they want it like stay at the top, and then even if we browse it all the way to the bottom, so the menu will be stay at the top, you know. So that's a good example. It's the same thing to my I mean, like, so what if we just add our example of the position fix to our menu as well? So to do that, I will remove everything. So that will be position fix. So what if we add it to our YouTube part 1 and part 2, you know? So that's our menu as well. But before that, I think for better, I mean, like, so to be more organized, you know, what if we add the one class to our menu? So that will be better. So to do that, and also you can see that my menu is using the nav ULLI. If you remember, I use a flex in my style when we learn about the box model. So that will be here. I mean, like, so if you look at it back, so very generic UNLI. And also I will cut it, I mean, like, so that we don't have to scroll it all the way up if we need to make some changes. So I will put it at the bottom. So that will be here, and I save it. Like I said, I'm gonna go back to my HTML, and then I'm going to edit one class name for our menu. So go to nav element, so that will be navigation menu, and also I'm going to edit class attribute, and then put it any name. So to me, I will put it like a top menu. So just like that. If I save it, now you have this menu, edit the class, and also the dialog box, you know. So for now, I think we will remove the dialog box. So just select it dialog element, and then control and forward slash to comment it out. So if we need it, we can get it back. So if you save it, dialog box will be so disappear, you know. So okay, so back to the CSS. Like I said, we have set it up basic so the one more a class for our menu. So to select it, start with the dot, we give a name as a top menu, and then I'm gonna edit now. Okay, so position, like I said, we're gonna use it fixed. So once I use a fixed value, if I save it now, so my top menu, it's staying. So now you can see that it's stay on the top of the image right now. So, and also if I scroll it down, so it stay on the screen. So we can have a little bit a top over fixed effects, you know. So, but so right now it's not really good. What if we use a top, left, all this value, and then push it all the way to the top? So it's the same as AWS, you know. So if you use a top, and also we're gonna have a background color, and then we're gonna fix it at the top, and then so that will be better. So to do that, what I can do is in like back to my like a CSS. So what I can do is I can add my like this menu, so to start it out, so top value will be 0, and also I'm gonna add it like the left value to be 0, and also I'm gonna add it like so the first thing is color, so that will be background color. I will add it yellow. So if I save it, now you're gonna see my like a little bit like everything go to top, and then also like there's no gap the way I want it. But if you make it larger screen, now you can see that my layout is a little bit out. This is not the way we want it. So if I scroll it down, it stay on screen, it fix it, but that's not really good, So to to get it to the center, and also I want it like the yellow bar to be like stretching the full screen, that will be better. And also that's how we use a fix tool. So to do that, so now we have a little bit like different ways to do it. Let's say you might be thinking, okay, so what if we add because we are short, so we might be thinking, okay, first thing we're gonna add the width to be, like I said in my content, we can use it like a percentage pixel. I want to show you with the like percentage and the other value as well. So to do that, so back to the width, so what I can add is I will add it like what if 500 pixels, so that we needed more value. So if I save it, so you might be thinking, okay, 500 pixel, I'm gonna get it like but it's not enough. So now we have the same problem with the box model. You're gonna put it like so you're gonna say like a 5,000 pixel. If I save it, so you have a color bar, but now the problem is that my text menu is gone. So it's not the way we want it. And also you might be thinking like what if we use a margin left, so that we're gonna have a little bit push it to the center. You might be thinking if you put it like a 50 pixel left, so so sorry, that will be margin left. So what if we push it like 100 pixel? If I save it, so you might be thinking that way, but it's not actually accurate. So if you make it smaller screen, margin left is a start from the screen. So whenever we move away from the a position static, we are starting using the fixed, sticky, all these are the dynamic. It will always look for the default screen view. So like you see on my screen, if I have a larger screen, so that's my a starting point. So if I make it smaller screen, my starting point is at this screen. It's not the red box, it's my starting point. So that's why you can see that when we move the margin, so it's not getting the right value we want it. So it's also a little bit tough to get it through. So that's why in so positioning start, since we are using the fixed value, so the way we to resolve the problem is so we're gonna use a width as a percentage, so it's the same as an image. If you remember, I'm gonna use it 100%, and once I save it, now you can see that all my text is back to normal. It stay at the center. For larger screen, it's the same. So now you can see that. So width 100% is the only way to fix it. And also you might be thinking, so what about the stretching the full color for the whole screen? So that's a default, and also that is something that we cannot we have a way to do it, but for now it's a basic learning, so for now, if you use a position fix, you have to keep in mind that you have this full stretching background color. If you use a background color, you cannot fix it. You cannot string it to the center, so that's why even in AWS, so you can see that all the whole menu is stretching the full page. So if you scroll it down, so that's how they put it. Even in the Amazon, the full a top menu is stretching. So that's why if you use a position fix, so you have this menu will be stretching the full screen. For now we can't fix it. That's a different tools, different properties, rules and style. So we have a different purpose. So that's the only way to do it. So width will be 100%, but the other thing, so it will stretch it the full screen, and then it will cover it up. So now we are getting the way we want it, but it's really big, so because we are using the a padding in our UL. So what if we remove margin and padding from our UL. So you just remove it. If I save it now, you have a little bit like a smaller menu at the top, like a fixing, like a stay at the top, and then so we're gonna have it. So okay, so and also like so now you can see that my welcome to learning is already like a touching, like a overlapping, so because it's disappearing. So to do that, what I can do is I can go to the H1, so even at the top here, so application, what I can do is I can push it like now I can use a margin, so margin top to be like whatever we say, like 50 pixel. If I push it down, so now you can use a margin here because we're not adding any like a position value here. So that's why. So so margin will be different purpose to do the some layout, and also position will be like so the like properties and styling for our different goals. So for now, to fix menu at the top, so only the position will do it, and also background color will be stay just like that. Okay, so that will be fixed, and also like I said, so you can play around like a view width. So it's the same thing if you remove like 100% view width. So what I can do is so let's say like 80% of the view width, you can do that. So it will not work. So you can see that. So whenever you do the like 80%, not the 100%, so it will always look for the starting point. That will be our screen, and also it will out. If you make a smaller screen, now you can see that now there's a gap. So you will not get the right like a centering, like a covering and fixing at the tops. So and also you can try it out with the other value, so let's say like 80%. So you might be thinking, if you do that, it's the same thing. So view width is not stretching. So that's why, like I said, the only way to cover it up and to get it to the center is you use it width to be 100%. So using the percentage is the right thing here, and also it's the best way to do it. So now we have a text, even larger screen stay at the center. For the smaller screen, we're gonna have a text like a fix at the top. Okay, so the another thing will be like sticky. So we can talk about it a lot, but to move forward, so that will be like so the sticky, so that will be position sticky. Sticky is the same. If you go back to the Amazon Bedrock, so we have at the bottom, so if you look it back, so at the bottom, so now this cut, so this is a sticky. If you have scroll it down, it stay right now, but if I scroll it down, so now the Toyota cut is move up. Now we have another cut appear, and also another cut disappear, and also another cut, and then the last one, if we touch it at the bottom, it will push it up. So that is a sticky effect. If you want it, this effect, we have to use it like a position as a sticky. So to do that, it's the same thing. I think it will be like for us, so we have done our menu, and also for sticky, what if we use our part 1 menu as a sticky? So that will be better. So to get started, so same thing, to get more organized, I will put one class name in our part 1 tutorial. It's the same thing. So part 2, we're gonna put it like a sticky too. So to do that, in the article, so what we're gonna do is in the H1 title, I'm gonna edit one like a sticky, like a class. So to do the class attributes, I'm gonna put it like a just the same, so part -1 and also dash title. So that was part 1 title. If I save it, we have built a class, and also same thing to the bottom, part 2. In the H2, I'm going to edit one more class attribute. I'm going to put it, so that will be part 2, part -2 dash, and I will put it like a title. If you save it, so make sure that check the spelling is correct. So once you save it, so back to your CSS. So I think we can style it on the one, so we can just simply edit one more. So to get started, I will use like a part 1 as a starting point. So part -1, and also we give like a title, so that will be our selector. And also, like I said, I'm going to use it position as a sticky. So if I use a position sticky, if I save it, now I have part 1 like position is sticky. But if I am not adding any value right now, but if I scroll it up and down, it does not make any effects. So even if even I can add a part 2, it will not you see any effects like AWS, so if you scroll it up and down on the card, so we're not seeing the effects that what we want. So the problem is if you add, you're not adding value top left. So that's why so when you add the position properties to your styling, so now the part 1 elements, so that will be H2 element, becomes dynamic. It started it's ready to move. But you're not giving I move to the a top a fixed value, top to be a 20 pixel, left to be 50 pixel. You have to edit that. That's important in the positioning. Without a top left value, so it will be static, so you will not see any dynamic actions or interacting. So now start adding the top value. So you can do the 0, but for us we want to see a little bit changes. So what if we add it a 20 pixel? If I save it, so now if I scroll it up again, so when you touch it a 20 pixel, it stay. So you can see that a little bit stay a while and then it push up. So it's the same thing. So if you if not very clear, we can test it out. What if we push it 100 pixel? So if I save it and then push it up again, stay a while and then all the way when it touches to the bottom text here, you can see that audio or download video, this text is touched to the this title, so it will push it up. So that's how a sticky works, so. And also the thing is I want it my title also a little bit background, and so what if we put it at the background and then a little bit some layout, so to do that I will add the background color. And also I will add it so what if we add it orange? So if I save it, so part 1 title, it will be a sticky orange background. And also last week we have learned I want it a text to be center. So to do that will be text align and center. So if I save it, the text will be center. And also if I scroll it up, now you're gonna see a little bit better. So it stay a while and then not too long, and then it's push it up. And also the other thing is so when it push it up, so it's overlap to my menu. So the menu is a main menu, it should not be covered. So that's why now we're gonna use a Z index. Like I said in my content, so when we have a little bit complex a 2D 3D a positioning, so we're gonna use now it's a covering. So that's why so we can use a Z index to send it back or the bottom of our menu for our this a sticky title. So to do that in the part 1 title, I can use it Z index, so Z dash index. So I'm going to edit, that will be so 0 will be default, it's the same if you push it up, but I want it going down. So to do that, I can use put in minus value in here. It will be the same. If I push it up, you can see that will be go down. Or if not, what I can do is you can see that when I do that, so my the text is overlapping to my title. So but it's not the way to do it, because the orange should be, if you make it stacking and then proper ordering, so the part 1 tutorial title should be after the main menu, and then the text should be at the behind if you overlap it or if you stack it. So now instead of putting my Z index in my title, what I can do is the other way. So what if we edit my YouTube a part 1 main menu to be all the way to the top? So it's the same thing. But so we have so that my this part 1 tutorial will be going under. So to do that, this one it will not be negative, so that will be positive. So what if we set it 0 is a 1 value? You can set it any value 1, 2, 3. But let's say I want it make sure to be 20 pixel. 1 is also good enough. If I set it 1, it's a good enough. If I save it, now if I scroll it up, so if push up, and then it will be under the main menu. But like I said, if you want it a 1, or if you want it to make sure it all the way to the top, you don't want to cover it as a main menu, you can put it a 1000, or you can put it 100. It depends on your like elements in your HTML, you know. So sometimes people will put it like a 10,000. So but for us, I mean like it's enough. Let's say we put it like even like a 10 is good enough, so it will not cover. So if I save it, if I scroll it up, so now it push it up. When it touches to the bottom text, so it will push it up and then under the main menu. So that's how Z index will like help you to position it. Okay, so and also like I said, I mean like if the part 1 tutorial is touching to the bottom, and what if we make it weighted all the way to the disk? What is UTF-8 in HTML? That belongs to our part 1 like article, you know. So part 1 article should stay not now, I mean stay here, and then when it touches to this, what is UTF-8? That's I mean like, and then we want to push it up. So to do that, I mean like, so because we structure our HTML, I mean using the header element to wrap it up. That's why header is our I mean our region, you know. Whenever it touches the full region, so that will be here. So that will be like if you edit like a header, like a border, you know, so you're gonna see it. But for me, like to move forward, so that's why I mean it push it up when it touches to the paragraph, but because we're using the header. So now I mean like, so what I can do is I can delete the header. If I delete it from here, so I can delete even the green text, you know, we don't need it. Color is much more easier. So if I delete it, I'm gonna save it, and also like this to push it a little bit forward so that we have a little better layout. So if I save it, okay, now I remove the header, and then now the article becomes like it becomes my like a main, like a parent element. So it will wrap it all the way to the bottom. So now I will push it up again. So if you go back to my website, so sticky, it's gonna stick it because we set it like a value to be 100 pixels. It stay there, and then now, so all the elements inside the article 1, push it up, and then when it touches to the bottom one, so now it's gonna be disappear, so it will be push it up. So that's how sticky works. And also if you really want a little bit graphical layout, you know, so what if we touch it to the yellow if you want it? So it's the same, simple. I mean like we can play around with the like a top value, you know, so that will be, what if we just set it like a top to be I mean, so that will be like a 80 pixel. If we save it, yeah, it's almost touched. So that will be our value. So now you can see that it will stay there, and also it will, when it touches the bottom, it will disappear. And it's the same thing. Now we get it, part 1 tutorial, and I'm gonna just edit one more group selector using the comma, and then now I'm gonna select it. So part -2 is the same thing, and also dash, that will be title. So if I save it, you're gonna see the same effect to my part 2. So it will push it up and also touch it to the top, and then when I push it up, so at the bottom, now you can see that part 2 is the same effects. So we need to do the same structure for part 2 as well. Go to your second article, so remove the header from here and just simply like restructure it. So that's why like I mean like, so like we're learning the basic thing. So when we have the real thing to structure, so we need to think about everything, and then we can structure it, guys. So when I save it, so now part 2 becomes the whole like article, so the main parent element, you know, so that it will wait for all the bottom elements. So when it reaches, so it will push it up. So that's what we wanted. So that will be sticky. So part 1 stay there, and then part 2 push it up. So once reach to the bottom, it will push it up and then disappear. Okay, so that will be position fix, and then position sticky. And then we have to talk about it a lot. Larger screen is the same, guys. I mean, you can test it out. So, but for now, I think we will move forward to the the other things. I mean, so that will be position, and also the fix. I mean, like, what if we just test it out like a sticky is just like that, you know? But for position, I mean, sometimes you're building the like a mobile app, you know. Sometimes we need a bottom menu to put it. I mean, like even we have an Amazon app like a menu at the bottom, you know. So it's the same thing. Instead of using the fix like a top value for 0, I mean, you can just simply add the bottom 0. So now you might be thinking, okay, top is like at the top, but you might be thinking, okay, just add the bottom to be 0. So you might be thinking, if you add it like a bottom 0, bang, now you're gonna see that instead of the moving all the just like a yellow bar, now it's my yellow, it's covering everything. So now in like a position fix, if you want it top and bottom, we cannot have it two values. So that's why we need to use it only one value. So I will remove it to the top value and then I'm gonna save it. So that's why so now the bottom is 0. You are defining I don't want any bottom. If you want it a little bit gap, you're gonna put it like 20 pixel from your bottom. So once you save it, now you can see that a little bit gap at the bottom. But for us, it's a menu. We don't want it, so we want it like a bottom just touching. So I will just save it as a bottom 0. Now you can see that our menu flip to the bottom and then it fixed. So that's it's up to you guys. So it can fix to the bottom, it can fix to the top, so it depends on your goal. So for me, I will just put it like a top to be like a 0. If I save it now, you're gonna have it like that's what we want. Okay, so I think so that will be quite enough so to talk about it, fixed and sticky, and also the we talk about Z index, so okay, the next one is relative and the absolute positions. So for time purpose, so I will we have to talk about it a lot. So the relative and absolutes are a better way to see is using the Figma, and then I will jump into the slideshow, that template, so because I can talk about it a lot, but let's keep it a little bit short, so okay, so in Figma, if you want to draw, we know that we can draw any box just like that. And also if you want to change a color, go to the fill tab here, choose any color, and then if you want a stroke, you click on the plus sign, you're gonna have a stroke. If you want more stroke, you can edit. So now you can edit like a stroke and then pick the color if you want it, and also change the color here, and you can drop it a little bit transparency also, and so you can weight, so stroke weight, that will be 50 pixel. It depends on you. So that's how we can set up in the Figma. And also text is simple. Use the text tool, just click and just that way, so just one click and then you can start typing in Figma. And also Figma is a free tool. It's like a Google Gmail, so you look for it, Figma, and then you will be directed to the a web page, and then you might need to set it up. So that's important. So set up in Figma, and so once you have done, so you're gonna see the screen saying "Ask me." So it might be a little bit different, but everything is the same. Okay, so relative and the absolute. So in a Figma, so relative, absolute. So if you want it let's say I wanted this a box, my text is here. If I wanted my text to be inside the red box, and then I want to make it a left align. So to do that, what I can do is in Figma, you have to select it, this box, and also you have to select it, the next text element. And then once you selected two objects, and then now your position become active, and then you can align it to the left. And also, if you selected one element, so the position will be you won't see it's dim, so it's deactivated. So now, once you selected at least two objects or more, when you select it, so that will be position will be activated, and then now you can start making alignment. So it's the same thing. So in CSS way, it's the same thing. You can do that. Select any object too, and then also selected paragraph, that will be center, or maybe you can select it, that will be left, and then you can move it to the center. And also image is the same thing. You can select it, so you can play around, guys. So to the center and to the top if you touch it. So it's the same thing. So if you want the default browser, and then select to the screen, so that will be moving, and then put it to the center. It depends, and also you can move it. So so in CSS way, so when you are selecting two objects, so one object becomes relative and the other one is a absolute. So for our example, is this red box becomes a relative, and then heading will be our absolute. So so just keep in mind that absolute and relative, how it works. One has to be in Figma way, one has to be our key object. If you say, if you use Illustrator, so we have a key object, and the other one will be, the one that we want to align. So in CSS, we said it that will be, one will be relative, the other one be absolute. And then if you add position value left or right to the center, so that's what be how we're gonna use like a relative and absolute. So it's the same thing. I mean, like back to the CSS, you know. So what I will do is like I said, I will show you like so the photo slideshow, it will be better and then more efficient. So I believe that because I can do other things, so you will not get more. So to do the slideshow, I prepare one image in my folder. So that will be, if you go to your image folder and then save this image or any image, it's like a simple background image, save it inside your folder. Once you have it, so back to your HTML element. So what we can do is go to this image. If you remember, that is our a tag image. So to do that, so scroll it all the way to the top. So that will be menu here. That will be this one, this a tag. So what I will do is I will change my image to the just now I show you like a picture, you know. So to do that, I will remove this top banner.png. I'm gonna put it like banner 2. So if I save it, so now that picture will be updated. And also, like I said, I want it like a photo slideshow. So if you look it back, so I think that will be in the better ways, the best way is so that will be in the YouTube, you know. So if you go to the YouTube, so you have this next previous, I think so. Even right now, here. So if you do it like a next previous, so that will be kind of like a little bit like a previous and next effect. So so we're gonna build it that way too. So like I said, make changes some your a background image, and then also we're gonna edit some text and all that a next and previous button. So to do that, I'm gonna build it a div element as a generic. I'm gonna call it that will be div, and also I'm gonna edit this div one so class attribute. I'm gonna call it that will be slideshow. Slide that show. And also if I save it, now we have a div is built. And also we needed a previous next button, you know. So to do that, I will edit p element, and and also we need a text. So let's say I have Illustrator, Photoshop, HTML, CSS, After Effects, you know. So that will be next and next. So to do that, today is a CSS part 6, you know. So to do that, I will just type it that will be part 6, so part dash 6, and also that will be CSS position. What if we just say just like that? So that will be our part 6 says position. If I save it, now you're gonna start seeing the thing. And also the other one will be like I said, next and previous. So to do that, same thing, p element, but for the the button, you know. So what I would do is go to your search box in your computer. If you're using the PC, just type it character map. So if you get to your character map, scroll it all the way to the bottom. So what we're gonna see is this an arrow thing. So you can select it, man. So you can select it from a Font Awesome or anywhere. So it depends on you. Even we can use an entity, if you remember the copyright thing, you can do that. But for us, we're gonna use a character map just like that. Select it and then copy it, and then back to your p element, just paste it. So that will be next. I'm gonna have the other one will be previous. So it's the same thing, back to your character map. Previous one will be here. So that will be, I'm gonna delete that one, select it, previous, copy it, and then back to your HTML, just paste it just like that. So that will be our starting point. Once you save it, you're gonna have it that way. But to get it more organized, I'm gonna edit individual class name, you know. So that will be class attribute. I'm gonna put it for the title. What if we say SS to be our slideshow, you know, for the short name. So SS and then dash, that will be a title. And also I'm gonna say for the previous, that will be class attribute, SS dash, that will be previous, and I will save it. And also for the next, I'm gonna say same thing. So class attribute, that will be SS dash, that will be next. So if I save it that way, once I save it, now you're gonna have it everything set up. So, and also the other thing, so in back to my Figma. So whenever you do the absolute and relative, we need a main big container to align it. I mean, like, let's say if you add the, like, I mean, like, so you do not have a parent element. Now you are selecting only heading. And then, I mean, like, it does not know where to go. I mean, like, where's my, like, a parent element, and then I'm gonna put it center or left. So that's why, like I said, I mean, like, you need two objects in Figma so that we can align it to the center, to the top. So that's how we're gonna align it. It's the same thing in the CSS. We need a parent element to get started, and also we need like a child element. So now we have the parent element is a div as a slideshow. We have a child element or the P, and also the image also has to be the like inside the like I mean like main like the same group, or if we say like it has to be the child elements too. So to do that, what I can do is I can save it like a cut it, and then I'm gonna move it my A text inside my group. I mean, if I say in my parent, like a slideshow parent, you know, so if I make it slideshow to be parent for everything, and also like I mean everything stack it that way, if I save it, now you're gonna have it everything set it up. Okay, so now back to the CSS. So we have set it up, everything's done just like that. So now we're gonna start doing the absolute and relative. So like I said, I mean, like, relative will be your parent element. So that will be our slideshow attribute. If you look at it, this div slideshow is wrapping everything. So that will be our parent. So to do that, dot slideshow, slide show, and also I'm gonna use a opening and closing curly brace selector, and then now position. So that will be relative. So if I save a relative now, so it becomes, I mean, like, so once you say a relative, you can start using the top, bottom, or the like a value, you know. But for us, I mean, like, our goal is just putting all our past 6 and then previous next element inside on top of this like a background image. So I will leave it just position relative. Like I said, we need the two object, parent and child. So the child will be our child is here. I mean, so all our child, like that will be as a title, as a previous, as the next. So to do that, I'm going to type like ss dot, like sorry, that will be start with the dot, guys, I think. So I type it so that way. So I don't know how to get it back. So maybe the end, or so why this thing is bigger. I mean, guys, sorry, I mean, like, let me put it back, and then let me open it up again, so I'm still finding out why it's got bigger. So it's the same thing. It's very easy. So just like you go live again, and then you're gonna get it back, so everything you want. Okay, so now we're back. So the thing is, what we're gonna do is, I mean, like, we're gonna get select to the child, so that will be dot, and then I'm gonna select it, so that will be ss dash title, and I'm gonna say like position to be absolute. I mean, so now ss dash title, I will start with the ss title, and I'm gonna say like that will be position. I'm gonna say this time to be absolute, because I want to put on top of my background image. So that's the only way. You set it one object to be key object. That will be like in Figma is a key object, but for us as a CSS way is that we call it position relative. Now the second one, you're gonna set it as absolute. So if you save it, now you become a little bit started making moving, and you're not seeing anything yet right now. I mean, even we can like so continue to do that, you know, but I will wait for other elements too. So the other thing is dot ss. So that will be our like previous. So that will be previous, and then if I put it like so position, so that will be absolute. If I save it, now you get it, everything like absolute is becoming like everything like become very dynamic. I mean, like, so it's looking for parent element to position it. It's the same thing in Figma. So what I can do is so if you put it like a big screen, and then so you put it, select it, everything, and then you put it like align it to the left and then to the top. Now that's an absolute. I mean, everything is like this is my like a parent element, and then everything is cut it to the corner. So now we can start moving. I mean, we do not have a drag and drop in the CSS, you know, but in Figma you can do that. So align it just like that way. So now we are getting the way we want it. So that will be cutting all the way to the top. So now, I mean, simply we can start align it. So to do that, I mean, so previous, and also the other one will be .ss dash, that will be next. I mean, if I select it, that will be position. So we're gonna say that will be absolute. So that's next. Now you can see that everything is stacking on top of our background image, but we are not using the Z index here. I mean, we do not need it because like I said, I mean, so we have a different ways to do it, but I'm going to show you like an absolute and relative. So that will be a better example, you know. So now we are setting parent as a relative or the child as an absolute. Okay, now we're going to style it. I mean, so the first thing is that we have to change our color. I mean, as to change the color, it's I mean, so like I mean, all the P, you know. So to get it, I mean, in selector, so you can start like because if you look at back my HTML, you can do the reverse way. So that will be P dot SS title to select the title. So what I can do is a P dot SS title. If you do that way, you can change the color. So that will be, what if we just say like white. If I save it now, so that will be PSS, sorry guys, so that has to be like PSS dash title. If I save it, so now you're gonna have it this color. So it's a reverse way to select it. Now I can group it the same technique. So P dot SS dash, so previous, so that will be previous, and then comma. I think I can do it that way too. Dot SS dash, so that will be next. So if I save it, everything become white. So now we just need to like align it. Like I said, I mean, like we're gonna use it now, like I mean, like top and also the bottom, and also like a transform, translate. All these we're gonna apply. Okay, the first thing is that, I mean, like what if we add a little bit box so that we can see what's happening, you know. So that will be border box. So I will add it in the previous. I think so we're gonna edit everywhere. So that's why I mean, like, so that we can see like a better, you know, so what is happening. So I'm gonna do it like 1 pixel and then solid, so that will be red, so that we can see a little better. So if I save it, you're gonna see box here. Gonna copy it everything to the individual child, and then here as well. So if I save it now, you're gonna see all the box here. So now I will start with the like I mean, like, so the previous and next things to get it to the center. I mean, so you might be thinking, okay, so now what if we move it like our using the like let's say our like I mean, like, so the previous, you know, so that will be here, so that will stay at the center. So to do that, go to the previous. I'm gonna set it like top. So now we can push it out. I mean, like if you use it like a guessing, so that will be 30 pixel. You're gonna push it down. So now we are slowly getting it. But like I said, I mean, like we have a better way to do it. So that will be, you can think about it. I mean, like, so 100% is full. I mean, like, if I edit like 100%, so now you're gonna see that that will be stay at the bottom. So, and also if I edit my width to be 100%, so you can take a look at it with adding width, it's making different. If I save it, now you can see that my like I mean, like previously all the way to the bottom, and then it stretch it to the full. So but what we want is what if we just edit like a height to test it out. So if I edit 100%, if I save it, now you can see that height is going to the bottom. I mean, like, it's not the way we want it. I mean, like, so it is getting, I mean, out of our shape. So now I will get it back to my top value to be 50 pixel of percentage. And then now we are getting slowly. I mean, like, so the height is not, I mean, like, the way we want it. And also the bottom one, you can see that. I mean, like, so the like I mean, like, it's not the really the center. If you push it out like the width, if I add it up like I mean, like, so height, I can remove it because we do not need it. If I save it, so now you can see that. So my like previous like a button is like it's not really the center, because even if I put it like I mean, a top value to be 50%. So the thing is that if you make it a little bigger screen, you can see that now getting closer to the center, because in like a relative and absolute, I mean, like always it will start with the border. I mean, like, so this corner, you know, so if you really measure it, this corner, it's touching to the center. If I make a screenshot, I mean, to show you like a little bit better things, you know, so to do that, I'm gonna print screen, and then back to the Figma, then what if we go to the bottom, paste it out, so that will be here. If I measure it, so you can see that, so this is a here from this border. So now if you get it back, this thing, copy it out, it will be like just now you can see that from the border. So that's how it is measuring. I mean, if you make it like a little bit better, you know, so that will be how we are measuring the border for it. I mean, so that's and we are like I mean, so we are getting the 50% is right, but just that, I mean, so we are studying like making like a top is like calculating from the like a border to the top border, you know. So now what we want is we wanted the button to push it up. So now what we want is, I mean, so we need to use like a transform and translate value, because I mean, in CSS you can see that, so everything is set it up, it's correct actually, like 50% is correct, but the measurement, the way it calculates is like starting from the border top. So that's, we need to like move like I mean, like so like a little bit like I mean, intelligent way, so that will be, we are getting to the center. So to do that, I mean, back to your CSS, what I can do is I can like I said in my like content, you know, so we have this transform and translate like properties to do that. So I will just simply add one more rule, so that will be, I mean, so transform, and we're gonna translate it, and that will be, I mean, so we're gonna translate where, I mean, like y value or x value. So we're gonna say that will be y value. Y is like a top and bottom, you know, x will be left and right. If I set it now, I mean, like we need to move it up, so that will be going up, that will be negative value. I'm gonna say like a 50%. So because we need a little bit like a half, like I mean, a value to move it up. So like I said, in a Figma we need a little bit things to push it up. So if I save it like a 50% half, if I save it, bang, now you're gonna see everything is at the center. I mean, if you really measure it back, so make it screen and then print screen, so that will be in our print screen. So what we're gonna have is you got it, so print screen and back to the Figma. So if you paste it out at the bottom, so now we're gonna have it this one. I mean, so sorry, so it's not this one, I think back to this one, and do print screen, then I think so that will be here. Yeah, so now if you measure it back, so just now it's not like we're not adding the transform translate, so now you can measure it, so I mean from to the button, you know, so that will be here. If you copy it using the order, now you can get it, though everything is the same. I mean, like, so that's why sometimes, I mean, like in the like I mean, like, so back to the CSS, so there's a different ways to like achieve our goals, guys. I mean, like, so now we see that, I mean, like, so the way the relative and the absolute is calculating like I mean, like a little bit like a different way to calculation, you know. So that's why start from the border top. So that's why we like use a transform properties, and then we added translate y value as a 50% to push it up again, so that we're gonna have it these things. So now we get it the like I mean, so that will be previous button, so it's the same thing. So next button will be same. I mean, so we don't even have to like think about it, so I can just simply copy it, so everything, so that will be top like I mean, the same thing to the next. I'm gonna paste it here. If I save it now, you're gonna save the same thing, but for us, I mean, like, so that will be only top, we push it out. I mean, it's for the like next, you know, so that will be, we need to add one more value, so that will be left. I mean, like, because we need to move it to the left, so that will be, or even you can say it right. So because I mean, like, so if you edit no values, that will be default will be 0, but if you want to define it, so right to be 0, that will move all the way to the right here, value will be 0. If I save it, then so sorry guys, I think so that will be right to be our next. I think it should have pushed up, so if I save it right or top, and then width transform to 50%, what is happening? So that will be right to be, what we just tested out like a 20 pixel. If I say it, yeah, it's push it up. So but I think so it push it up this way. I mean, so right to be, I think left should be like a 0. So if I say left to be 0, if I save it, so it's the same thing. I think because of the width, so what we're gonna do is I mean, like, instead of the putting our width like 100%, you know, because the box is holding things. So what I can do is I can just push it up. So even there's a ways to do it, but I mean, what if like even we can use it like a transform translate like an X value, you know, so we can push it up. But for a better way, I think I will, let me test it out. If I remove the width here, if I save it, so, and also if I move the right to be 0 instead of like a left, so I'm going to use it right 0, save it. Yeah, so it's a, I mean, like, so because of the border, so I mean, like, if you use it with 100%, so it's like a measuring your like the whole border box as a whole element, you know, so that's why we're not getting the way we want it. So but you remove it with from your like previous and next button, you can remove it because we do not need it. I mean, so that will be, if I save it now, you're gonna have it that way. So that will be next and previous. So button, we set it up, and if you push it a little bit, I mean, like, now we can play around, guys. I mean, like, so left to be a little bit like what if we just say 20 pixel, push it up. And then also the right to be like instead of the 0, we're gonna push it like a 20 pixel. If I save it, bam, now we're gonna have it. So that's what we want. I mean, so now we're getting. And also the other thing, I mean, now we can remove the border. So like I said, I mean, we do not need it. Just test it out. So remove the border. And then back, so that will be next and previous. I mean, if you want it like a background color, you want it that way, you can set it up. So even like it's up to you guys. I mean, for us, like a teaching purpose, you know, now we get it. And also for the like the title, I mean, like, so it's the same thing. We're gonna set it up the same way. I mean, like, so for the title, and then I'm gonna set it like a width to be 100%. If I save it, it will stretch it the whole width. If you make it larger screen, so the box become our element. And also if you back to the like I mean, I went to center, so in like it's not the button. I mean, now what we can do is we went at center. I mean, we don't have to think about it like a left and right value, you know. So to do that, what I can do is simply I can do the text align to be center. So if I save it, so to the text align, I'm gonna set it and as a center. If I save it now, you can see that the like a text is all the way to the center, but now the thing is like a top and bottom center. So to do that, it's the same technique. I'm going to use it like a transform translate too, but the top value should be, I mean, so that will be our top. So that will be 50%. We will push it down, save it. So like I said, I mean, as the border, the top is becomes like our center point, you know, because it's calculated from here. So but we use a transform translate, so it's the same thing. I'm going to copy it from here. If I save it and then paste it, so now you're going to have it, everything stay at the center, and then you're going to have it that way. I mean, like, even if you want it like a little bit background color, you can put it. So let's say, what if we just put it like a little bit, so we can put it like a background yellow, you know, to test it out. So what if we just say yellow? If I save it, yeah. So but it's not really good for the text, but that will be, what if we just use a little bit background and transparent color. So blue and then transparent a little bit and a little like blue, and then that way. So if I save it to see a little bit, yeah, so even we can do it that way if you want it. So previous, and so if you put it like, so that will be here. I mean, like, so it's up to you guys. I mean, like, so but for teaching purpose, yeah, I mean, like, we can put it so that we like understand better, you know. So what is an absolute, what is even you can remove the border from here. If I remove it, so you're gonna have it, so you can press it like a next, previous. So that will be that way to set it up. So that will be absolute, and then like setting one object as absolute, and also the other one will be relative. Like I said, I mean, like, we always set the parent element, so that will be slideshow as a relative, all the child elements to be like an absolute, and then we can play around like using the like those top value, right value, left, and then also like a transform translate to achieve our goal. So I think so for let's say content, to take a look back, I think the Figma align and then text align, we have center too. So I think that's it for this tutorial, guys. I mean, like, for this week, I mean, like, we have this fix at the top, we have this like a sticky. If you touch it, we will push it up, and also Z index, if you touch it, it will go under our main menu. That will be Z index, and also we have this like a relative and then the absolute. So we did it. So that will be this week tutorial, guys. I mean, thank you for watching, and also I believe that you will have a little bit takeaway. If you do so, make sure to like subscribe to the channel, like it, share it, and I hope to see you in next tutorial.